We have created a series of videos to discuss Texas' long range plan for technology and how you can create a custom plan for your district. First, let's talk about who these videos are for and how to use them. Who is this for? This is designed to guide every district to create their own long range plan for technology. This can also be used to guide individual campuses and classroom teachers. Let's talk about what you will need to best utilize these videos. First, your team. Who in your district is a vital part of the technology conversation? How can you involve the necessary parties and decision makers? Second, bring your creativity. We all face new and evolving challenges daily as we do our best to serve our students. Our technological resources are important and exciting tools that create opportunities for us to think outside the box as we work together to plan for technology and education. Third, download the workbook associated with this module. We will be reflecting on what you're already doing, what you want to begin, and what your goals are. We will be talking about big ideas in these interactive videos. The workbook is a vital part of the process. See the link below to download your workbook now. What are some of the things you'll see in these videos? As we go, you'll see an orange box like this pop up periodically. These definitions will help expand on what we are discussing. You will also see this white folder. This is to remind you to check out the resources that help expand the topic being discussed. These videos are meant to be interactive. We will provide opportunities to pause the video throughout to reflect or make notes in your workbook. So go ahead, pause this video now to gather your supplies and print the workbook. Download using the link on your screen. What is the LRPT and how is it structured? The Long Range Plan for Technology, the LRPT, is an outline of strategic goals for technology in Texas and is intended to be used as a visionary guide to inform and influence educators as you make personalized decisions for your learners. The LRPT is structured into 6 strategic goals. Each strategic goal has 3 focus areas defined within it to help guide strategy creation. Each focus area is further broken down to include the biggest challenge, suggested actions, and short and long-term outcomes. The larger LRPT structure informs how to use these videos and how their resources are structured. There is one video for each of the 18 focus areas. This will allow you to watch the videos in order of what's most pertinent for your district. Each video will introduce the strategic goal and one focus area within it, digging into the challenge, each suggested action, and the short and long-term outcomes. Now, let's look at the LRPT structure as a whole. Remember, the LRPT is first broken down into 6 strategic goals, incorporating statewide trends in technology. Goal number 1, personalized, flexible, empowered learning. Goal number 2, equitable access. Goal number 3, digital citizenship. Goal number 4, safety and security. Goal number 5, collaborative leadership. Goal number 6, reliable infrastructure. As you think about how these goals relate to your district, remember that every school district is unique, so every conversation will be unique. While many share a great deal of challenges, like budget, competing priorities, and security threats, each technology plan should be tailored to individual needs, opportunities, and constraints you have. It's because of this uniqueness that the larger goals are further broken down into 18 individual focus areas. Each focus area reviews challenges, suggested actions, and short-term and long-term outcomes. We will be expanding on this framework during this video, guiding you to build a plan that serves you best. Because it's most likely that you will go through these videos and topics as needed instead of the order of the document, we have built a reference guide to help you easily find where you are in the document, what's next, and what focus area you are in. LRPT will be the first part of the reference description. Next, you will see the strategic goal listed as G, followed by the goal number 1 through 6. Then, the focus area will be highlighted as F, followed by the focus number within the strategic goal, 1 through 3. Lastly, the current section of the focus area will be listed. This could be either the challenge, indicated with a C, one of the actions, indicated with an A and the number, or the short-term or long-term outcome, indicated with either STO for short-term outcome or LTO for long-term outcome. Look for the reference diagram and reference notation in the corner of the slides throughout the video. The second of 6 strategic goals for Texas Long-Range Plan for Technology is equitable access. Broadly, equitable access means fair and equal opportunities for all students to take full advantage of their education. This allows us to prepare all students for success in the 21st century and addresses one of the top goals of educators, ensuring that all students have the technology skills to fully participate and thrive in the world. Remember to pause this video to print your workbook if you haven't already. What is equitable access in technology? Technology provides opportunities to transform education, but only if all students can fully participate, meaning equitable access. When implementing technology, it is important to consider not only the number and type of technology devices you need, but also how to connect them, how to learn the skills to use them, and how to leverage available digital resources to meet learning and teaching goals. Now that we've introduced the strategic goal, let's review the focus areas. There are 3 focus areas to help guide the realization of this goal. Focus Area 1, one-to-one initiative. Focus Area 2, connectivity. Focus Area 3, usability. Let's zoom in to Focus Area number 2. Focus Area number 2 is connectivity. For the purpose of this video, what is connectivity? Simply put, connectivity is the ability to connect and communicate with another computer or the internet. In this context, we are also looking for other factors of connectivity like high-speed broadband access and connectivity outside of school and home. Look for additional connectivity resources below. Each district will achieve these goals in a slightly different manner as you make decisions aligned with your unique district. That's why each focus area is broken down into the main challenge, action steps to be taken, and short and long-term outcomes to watch for. First, let's talk about the challenge of connectivity. Remember to download the workbook as a tool to collect your notes and reflections. The challenge for this focus lies in consistently overcoming limited connectivity. This can look like slow connections, unreliable networks, no connectivity, or all of the above. Thinking through what your student population experiences the most when trying to connect, what is the most common type of limited connectivity look like in your district? This limited connectivity inhibits a student's ability to participate fully in distance learning, digital homework, flipped classrooms, and, in general, learning the skills of tomorrow we strive to create learning opportunities for. We know why limited connectivity is a large challenge, but take a minute to think about what this challenge manifests itself as in your district. What are students without connectivity currently doing to participate in schooling in your district? Now, think about the progress you have already made for your students with limited connectivity. How have you already lessened the gap for these learners? What steps have you taken to give them accessibility? Check out the resources below for more information on limited connectivity. Pause the video here to note in your workbook some of the specific challenges your district has faced with limited connectivity. We know the challenge. Now, let's talk about our first action. Action number 1 is to work with local education service centers and internet service providers to bring down connectivity costs. This could be working to bring connectivity costs down through competitive bids, group negotiations, and the E-rate program. This work can help to enable all campuses to reach the State Education Technology Director Association's recommendation of 1 gigabyte of internet capacity per 1,000 students. Think about the way you have already worked with partners in this area. How has this work brought the campuses in your district closer to this internet capacity? Have you fully reached it? How long until you reach your goal if you haven't already? Below are some resources for the area of working with partners to bring increased connectivity. Pause here to reflect on the work you have already done with local educational centers and internet service providers. Let's move on to action number 2. Assessing student needs. Assessing student needs outside of school allows districts to develop a deeper understanding of connectivity needs. Examples of helpful information to collect would be current areas of coverage, what connectivity rates are, including average and desirable rates. Because this information is dynamic and highly variable, conducting surveys is an effective tool to assess needs with the most accuracy. See the resources below for more information on connectivity needs and assessments. Pause here to reflect in your workbook on how you are collecting information on student needs and what you were able to do with the needs assessment to better serve your district. Now, let's move on to action number 3. Action number 3 for the goal of connectivity is to leverage public and private programs to help provide high-speed connectivity outside of school for all students, including those that cannot afford access. Think through the past couple of years as we have heightened our attention to the connectivity gap in response to our current situational needs. What public programs have you taken advantage of? What private programs were available in your area? How many were you able to use? Did you miss a program that will occur again? In the previous action, we discussed surveying for student connectivity needs. How are you using that data as a tool to leverage programs? How are you ensuring that equitable support is provided for students who cannot afford high-speed access? Check the resources below for additional information on how to leverage programs for connectivity. Pause the video here and use your workbook to reflect on how you have been leveraging available programs for student needs and how you will continue to do so. Now that we understand the challenge and have some actionable ideas, let's look at outcomes. The short-term outcome of focusing connectivity is a robust, resilient, community-wide infrastructure, resulting in increased digital access and increased productivity. As you imagine what this might look like for your district, think about what a resilient infrastructure would represent in itself. What would the ability to withstand, adapt to changing conditions, and recover positively from shocks and stresses mean to your district? What type of opportunities would it create for increased digital access? Pause the video here to reflect in your workbook on what a resilient infrastructure might look like for your district and what opportunities it might create. Next, define what increased productivity would look like for your students. What about your teachers and staff? Beyond that, what would maintained increased productivity allow to occur? Deeper learning? Higher scores? See below for resources to support this short-term outcome. Pause here to reflect on increased productivity in your district. How can you get there sustainably? Lastly, let's review the long-term outcome. The long-term outcome of this goal is seamless 24/7 access to instructional resources that are affordable and scalable for all students. Thinking of 24/7 seamless access, what instructional resources would make the biggest impact to your students and teachers if they were always accessible? Because each district has different resources and varying goals, what would 27 access that was affordable and scalable for your district look like? Use the resources below as reference for you to continue to brainstorm what this long-term outcome would look like for your students. Pause the video here and use your workbook to brainstorm your answers to these questions as they apply to your district. We've covered everything for this focus area. Now what? Continue to reflect on what you are doing and what you have done in support of this focus area. What obstacles and successes came to mind during this video? Who else should be included in this conversation? Find your team. Who is needed to move this focus area forward? Use your workbook and the provided resources as a starting point for a larger conversation around this goal. Start with action 1 and work with your team through each action step to make this a sustainable and customized plan for your district. The ideas you're writing in your workbook will be the material you use to build your district's LRPT. How will you use this reflection process to inform your plan? Lastly, write a short summary statement for this focus area. How would you summarize what you've done and what you need to do for this focus area based on your work so far? Pause the video here to write down your summary statement in your workbook. Thank you for your work to transform Texas education through technology.